Today we discuss UPSC CSE Economics Optional Paper 1 Macroeconomics. First syllabus. Yes. Please listen. Paper 1 Macroeconomics syllabus. Approaches to employment, income and interest rate determination. Classical, Keynes, ISLM curve, neoclassical synthesis and new classical, theories of interest rate determination and interest rate structure. This is the given syllabus by UPSC for paper 1 macroeconomics. So you can collect syllabus directly from UPSC website www.upsc.gov.in. Clear. Next, reference for macroeconomics. In my class, I will give detailed notes plus study material. Revise limited materials. This is the best strategy to score maximum mark in mains written examination. Study only limited material. So for macroeconomics, reference, if you have time, you can read the first reference. Macroeconomics by Richard Freund. Really interesting. From this book, you will get the picture of classical economic system and some economic system prevailed before classical system before 1776, before the publication of Adam Smith's magnum opus. Some system prevailed. Say for example, in Western Europe before 1776, mercantilism prevailed. Mercantilists gave more importance to trade. Another system prevailed in France before 1776, physiocracy. Physiocrats gave more importance to agriculture. So from Richard Freund, you will get all these systems prevailed before classical economic system, that is before 1776. Clear. Next, classical economic system. From 1776 to 1930, most of the economies implemented classical economic principles. After 1930, Keynesian economic system. Then, after 1960 or 1970, new classical economic system. So, if you read Richard Freund, you will get all these information. Clear. Next reference, second reference. Macroeconomics by H.L. Ahuja. These two books are sufficient. Don't read any other books. There are so many books for macroeconomics. Clear. So in addition to my class notes and study materials, you can read these two books for macroeconomics. Only these two books. Clear. Next, if we examine UPSC macroeconomic syllabus, the entire syllabus we can categorize into three areas. First, classical economic system. Second, Keynesian economic system. Third, post-Keynesian economics. Classical economic system, you know, economic system prevailed from 1776 to 1930. Most of the economies implemented classical economic principles between 1776 to 1930. Classical economic system based on private market economic principles. Classicals give more importance to market forces. By market forces, we mean demand and supply. Classicals give more importance to supply. Adam Smith laid a foundation for classical capitalist economic system in 1776 with the publication of his magnum opus, The Wealth of Nations. Before 1776, economics was part of political science. Adam Smith, the father of economics, laid a foundation for classical capitalist economic system. Classical economic system gave more importance to supply. J.B. Say, one of the classical economists, Jean-Baptiste Say, according to J.B. Say, supply creates its own demand. There is no overproduction, no unemployment, and economy will be full employment in all time, according to classicals. Classical economics concept, wage price flexibility and other pillars of classical economic system. Income output, employment determination under classical economic system, etc. we have to study. By 1930, classical economic system failed, collapsed with the Great Depression. World economies came under Great Depression. In 1929, the severe phase of depression from 1929 to 1932. 1929 Great Depression, the Great Depression of 1930s, started in 1923 in the form of a recession. This recession became depression by 1929. Why? Because classical economics gave limited role for government in an economy. They gave maximum importance for markets. So market system failed with the Great Depression. Simple, very interesting. All these are very interesting topics. After 1930, a new system emerged known as Keynesian economic system. J.M. Keynes, John Maynard Keynes. He was a civil service officer in India. Later he resigned from civil service. He fully concentrated in economics and he became world famous economics. Keynesian economics. Keynesian system gave more importance to fiscal policy. Keynes gave more importance to government in an economy, government activities in an economy. By fiscal policy, we mean the policy of central government in an economy in the forms of taxation policy, public expenditure policy, budgetary policy, and public debt policy. So Keynes gave more importance to government in an economy. Keynes gave more importance to demands, the concept effective demands. Keynes gave more importance to government expenditures, fiscal stimulus measures. So government can come with the fiscal stimulus measures during recession and depression. Clear? So after 1930, globally government came with the fiscal stimulus measures. Government expenditure increased at a greater level. Clear? In 2007, world economy came under recession. Then also world economies, especially US economy, came with the fiscal stimulus measures. I think in 2007-8, US government came with a big amount, around $3 trillion US. Massive public expenditure program, more than $3 trillion US. Clear? US government pumped to economy, injected to economy to recover economy, US economy from recession in 2007. In India also, government of India came with the fiscal stimulus measures, injected more money to economy to recover our economy from recession. During the corona period also, world economies, government came with the fiscal stimulus measures, expansionary fiscal policy, government fiscal policy steps. Governments globally came with the expansionary fiscal policy steps during corona period. After corona, government came with these measures also, expansionary fiscal stimulus measures to recover economies from corona. Clear? So all these instruments are contributions made by Keynes. So Keynes gave more importance to government in an economy. Clear. Keynesian concept of multiplier, investment multiplier, super multiplier, income output, employment determination under Keynes, etc. we have to study. Clear. Third area of macroeconomics, if we examine syllabus, clear, our own way we can elaborate the syllabus. The third area of your UPSC CSE Economics Optional Paper 1 macroeconomics syllabus, the third area is post-Keynesian economics. Clear. First subtopic under post-Keynesian economics. First subtopic, followers of Keynes. So after the death of J.M. Keynes, followers of Keynes give more importance to government in an economy. Another way we can say unnecessary importance to government. So later governments failed to settle, to solve the issues connected with the economy. They give more importance centralized framework. So we have to discuss the followers of Keynes. Next topic under post-Keynesian economics, monetarism led by Milton Friedman. Clear. After 1950, Milton Friedman reconstructed old classical quantity theory of money. He came with a new quantity theory of money. Quantity theory, money, he defined money in a broad angle. He gave more functions for money. Clear. Next area, so we will discuss, clear, all these really interesting areas. Next area in your post-Keynesian subtopic. Next topic, supply side economics. Next topic, rational expectation hypothesis. These topics are really interesting area. Next topic, new classical economic system. After 1970, the old classical system re-emerged. Globally, government system failed by 1970s. Clear. So market principles, market system re-emerged. After 1970, globally, government started to provide more space for private players in economic activities. We know in India nowadays, projects are implemented under PPP, public-private partnership, BOT, BWT, etc. We are giving importance to private. Clear. So from new classical economic system, a new economic policy emerged. That is known as new economic policy. A new policy emerged known as new economic policy. After 1970, globally governments started to implement new economic policy. In USA, by late 1970, new economic policy started by Ronald Reagan, US President. It's a Reaganomics. In UK, United Kingdom, British Prime Minister Margaret Thatcher, former Prime Minister Margaret Thatcher implemented new economic policy in UK known as Thatcherism. In 1979, China started new economic policy. In 1991, we started new economic policy in India. In India, we started new economic policy in 1991. New economic policy emerged from new classical economic system. By new economic policy, we mean LPG, liberalization, privatization and globalization. By liberalization, we mean ease of doing business, single window clearance system, removing red tapeism, government services at maximum speed, government services at the doorstep of the people, government services without any delay. It is Liberalization is highly required to maximize our growth and development process. So this way we can define liberalization. It's my style only, clear. The different ways we can define this. Next, privatization. Privatization, we mean, simply by privatization we mean disinvestments. By disinvestment we mean sale of government companies, sale of PSUs, public sector undertakings, public sector enterprises. PSUs we mean government companies. Then globalization. Global as a single village, removing all restrictions among countries. So nowadays, globally, all countries, including erstwhile USSR, now Russia, all economies implementing new economic policy. So we started from classical economic system. From 1776 to 1930, most of the economies implemented classical capitalist market-based economic principles. By 1930, classical capitalist economic system failed by 1930 with the Great Depression. Clear. After 1930, a new system emerged known as Keynesian economic system, giving more importance to government in an economy. Most of the economies from 1930 to 1970 implemented Keynesian economic principles, giving more importance to government in an economy. By 1970, again, excessive importance of governments. Government's system failed to solve the emerging economic issues of 1970s. Then again, market-based new classical economic system emerged. By new classical system, we mean the new form of old classical economic principles. We adopted some good principles from old classical economic systems. Say for example, free trade, liberalization, market forces, demand and supply, equilibrium. Competition is also really a good concept. We adopted from old classical system, free trade, etc. So, from new classical economic system, new economic policy emerged. So, currently all countries in the world implementing, most of the economies in the world currently implementing new economic policy. This is the entire framework of your macro UPSC syllabus topic. So all topics we will discuss in the class. Macroeconomics really interesting. If you know basics of macroeconomics, you can really enjoy economy related topics from Hindu newspaper. All should know the basics of macroeconomics. In preliminary UPSC CSE preliminary general studies paper 1 and mains ES paper 3 also we can expect questions from macro topics. Say for example, in GS also we can expect questions from core topics of macro, like topics like fiscal policy, taxation, government expenditure, budgets, next to monetary policy, balance of payments, exchange rate, convertibility, etc. These are really favorite areas for UPSC question makers. These are favorite areas for UPSC for GS also. So macroeconomics is really good. Clear. Next, we can discuss previous year questions from macroeconomics. Okay. Yes. UPSC CSE 2022 Economics Optional Paper 1. First, read question paper specific instructions. Obey all instructions given by UPSC. Questions from microeconomics and macroeconomics. Most of the questions are from static topics. Clear. So we can predict questions here. If you prepare ready-made answers, your job here in exam hall is just cut and paste. Clear. If you prepare systematic, covering entire syllabus in optional paper 1, you can score high mark. Because most of the questions, especially from micro and macro, are static. Clear. Next, questions from macroeconomics in CSE 2022. Yes, question number 1. Question number 1B. Discuss the concept of liquidity trap in the liquidity preference model of interest. 10 mark question. Board limit 150 votes. Direct question. Clear. Direct question from our class only. Clear. Just cut and paste our notes. So read the questions in detail. Clear. You have to write this question in 150 words. How to write economics optional paper 1, we will discuss in detail later. Economics is really a scoring subject, semi-scientific in nature. Here we can add more diagrams. Clear. It is good for us. Why? Because we can save our time. We can answer questions in different ways. Clear. In coming days, we can expect current economic developments related questions in macro also. That way also we have to focus, we have to prepare. If you prepare in detail, all questions will be under our control in upcoming UPSC CSE. Next. Question number 4. Question number 4B. Question from macroeconomics. Question. Give economic rationale for public expenditure on elementary education hyphen a merit good. 15 mark question. Again a general question only. Same question you can expect in essay paper also. So please read the questions in question in detail. This question in detail, because in UPSC CSE it is very difficult to get a high mark in general question. It is very difficult to get a high mark in simple question from simple questions. Clear. So simple questions we have to deal in a careful manner. Clear. So here, read the question. Give economic rationale for public expenditure on elementary education. So underline economic rationale for public expenditure. Here we can focus Keynesian economics. Clear. Keynesian principles. According to Keynes, government expenditure should be productive. Government expenditure should create real income, real outputs, productive employment, etc. in the economy. Clear. So Keynesian economics, the civil servants should know Keynesian economics in detail. If you know Keynesian economics, they can implement, they can spend government fund more productively, in a more productive way. Civil servants, IAS officers, they can spend fund given by governments. Clear? According to Keynes, government expenditure should be productive in nature. Clear? So here, to answer this question, we can follow the principles of Keynes, principles of Keynesian economics. Clear? We will discuss. Clear? In my class, I will give more around 20 Keynesian principles. Clear? So if you study 20 principles given by Keynes, then it is more than sufficient. Clear? Next, in UPSC CSE, you can expect nowadays, you can expect 10 mark questions, 15 mark questions, maximum 20 mark questions. 10 mark questions you can answer in 150 words. 20 mark questions you can answer in 300 words. Next, question from macroeconomics. Question number 4. See, what will be the shape of aggregate supply curve in the classical and Keynesian models? Give detailed explanation. Again, static question from a static topic directly from our classroom. In classroom, we will discuss everything in detail. In classroom, we will cover complete syllabus, syllabus-related topics, clear topics connected with the previous 10 to 20 years questions, and my own topics. Clear. I have my own syllabus for my classroom, GS, my classroom optional economics course and GS prelim cum main module course. So if we prepare economics in detail, all questions will be under our control. We can answer all UPSC questions. Clear? UPSC CSE preparation is entirely different from your college day study. Entirely different from college study. Here, we have to prepare from competitive exam point of view. In UPSC CSE, we have to focus to get maximum marks in mains written examination. Prelims is not a big job. Interview, if you attend the interview in a normal way, you will get 50% mark. So big job in UPSC CSE preparation here is to focus. Big job in UPSC CSE preparation is mains written. Here you have to aim to get maximum mark in mains written examination. Next. Yes, questions from macroeconomics are over. Then macroeconomics really interesting. If you study macroeconomics, you can expect a good number of questions from macroeconomics in general studies, preliminary and mains. Clear? Especially in macroeconomics, we focus to achieve macroeconomic stability of an economy. By macroeconomic stability, we mean overall stability of an economy. To achieve macroeconomic stability, we apply two policies. First, fiscal policy, and second, monetary policy. By fiscal policy, we mean the policy of government in an economy. Government economic policies in the forms of taxation or revenue policy. Number two, public expenditure policy, budgetary policy, and public debt policy. So fiscal policy highly significant in achieving macroeconomic stability of an economy, especially during recession and depression. government will come forward to rescue, to reconstruct, to recover economy from crisis. Finance minister can come forward with expansionary fiscal policy steps, expansionary fiscal stimulus measures aimed to recover economy from crisis. By monetary policy, we mean policy of central bank, central monetary authority of an economy. In India, by monetary policy, we mean policy of our Reserve Bank of India. RBI is the central bank of India. And monetary policy in USA, we mean policy of Federal Reserve, central bank, the top bank of US. So by monetary policy, we mean policy of central bank of an economy, apex bank of an economy. So we apply these two policies to achieve macroeconomic stability of an economy.